Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to this webinar. My name is Esther de Jong van den Brand, and I work in the Unit for Democracy, Equality and Culture of the European Commission's Directorate General for Research and Innovation. And I will moderate today's event together with my colleague, Maria Claudia Bodino. Next slide, please. Okay, first of all, I would like to talk about some housekeeping rules. Please keep your cameras and sounds off during the meeting unless you're asked to speak. Questions can be asked via Slido. You just saw the slide with all the details, but you can also find the information in the chat during the meeting. You can scan either the QR code or you can go to slido.com and enter the code CloudProjects25. We will hear from all 10 new projects. So if you have a specific question for one of the projects, thank you for indicating the project name into the question. Next slide, please. So we will start today's event with a welcome session from the side of the European Commission. Then we will hear about updates from the project ECHOS before moving to pitches from all 10 new projects for a first round on innovation and another shorter round on interactions with the cloud. And we will end with a question and answer session. And with this, I would now like to give the floor to Katja Reppel, Head of Unit for Democracy, Equality and Culture in the Directorate General for Research and Innovation of the European Commission. Katja, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Katja, perfect.
Yes, Katja, we can. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
So thank you very much, and sorry about the technological glitch. I haven't used WebEx for quite a while. So welcome everybody to the webinar on the latest news on the European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage and its 10 new tools projects. Great to see participants from across Europe and beyond. And let me just remind you of the purpose of today's webinar. We would like to provide updates on ECHOS, the core infrastructure of the European Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage, present the 10 new tools projects for the Cultural Heritage Cloud that are organized in 5 different thematic areas. We would like to start the discussion on how the cloud and its tools will work in practice and collaborate. And we would like this to be a dynamic webinar, no long talks. This is really about sharing ideas, collaboration, and community building. Just a quick reminder about the cloud. It's an ambitious research initiative supported by around 110 million euro from Horizon Europe under the cluster Culture, Creativity and Inclusive Society. We spread that budget over several years in different calls. The cloud is a platform and open digital infrastructure for multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral collaboration on cultural heritage, connecting cultural heritage professionals and researchers. It's a combination of technical infrastructure, governance tools, and use cases that builds on existing research methods and structures and connects and complements to other relevant platforms, to name just a few: the Common European Data Space for Cultural Heritage, the European Open Science Cloud, European research infrastructures like Clarin, Daria, ERIS, as well as European projects such as Digital Cultural Heritage Cluster, Time Machine, and others, including also national and local initiatives. The cloud enables collaboration, co-creation, and access to advanced digital tools. It aims to remove barriers for small and remote institutions and benefit from digital technologies. The core infrastructure, ECHOS, The new tools we are going to discover today and the future use cases are different projects, but must be fully interconnected and interdependent. A strong collaboration and constant alignment between all of you is key for a successful implementation of this ambitious initiative, the the Cultural Heritage Cloud. So thanks a lot to all of you for joining. I'm looking forward to a productive session shaping the future of Europe's cultural heritage digital infrastructure. And I give the floor back to Esther, and I think then Maria Claudia. Please.
Yes, thanks a lot, Katja. Thanks a lot, colleagues, and a big thanks to the large audience we have today. We are very, very happy about seeing all of these people sharing their time with us. So thanks again. Let me start by giving a very short background picture about this very ambitious initiative that Katja was already mentioning, that I would say is going very, very far beyond the projects that we are going to present together. So if we move to the next slide, you can see a very basic picture. I see maybe someone is on mute. Maybe. Let me check. So in this big picture, you see the big picture of the cloud. And basically, the idea is to keep this in mind all the time during these years. The framework behind this project is based on 3 important pillars, which have been, I would say, shaped through different calls and also through different moments during the current Horizon Europe program. From the 2023 World Program, finally to the 2025 World Program. And first of all, we need to focus on the building of the infrastructure. So basically building the foundation of this initiative, the core architecture, the data models, the governance around all the stakeholder management. And this is what we are going to see also an update from ECOS. Then the second building block that is also very, very key is exactly the creation of a set of tools that will allow users to test the platform, but also to understand how to make it very user-friendly. This is what we are going to discuss today. And also, this is the core of our webinar, the presentation of the new 10 tools, why we are also, we already had 3 tools from the previous call, what we call the sister tools. And, you know, it's important to stress that these tools that we are presenting today, they along with the others initially develop very well, and they must always rely and align with the core infrastructure. These are not independent projects. This is very, very key, but everything should be developed together and together with always a strong reference to the core infrastructure. The third pillar, the last, is about developing and also testing use cases based on the tools we are going to present today, and also based on the core functionalities of the first building block, the engine of the cloud. The idea is really to engage with users from very diverse communities. For example, you know, museums, small museum, but also people working in the field from rural areas. And the main goal is to validate the project and also to validate the platform itself. I think we're going to receive a very interesting updates from the head of sector, Patricio, in a couple of minutes about the last call on use cases. So let's keep this big picture very important in mind. Then if we move to the next slide, let me just spend a few words about the first building block, the core, the engine of the infrastructure is ECOS. I'm sure you know ECOS very well. And today we are going to also do some updates from their side. Together with ECOS, there are already these 3 initial projects that are Automata, Eritalize, and Textile that are already progressing. And the first call was about, let's say the first block, more than call, was about 25 plus 10 million euro of money. Then, as summarized in the next slide, we have these new 10 tools that maybe we can move to the next slide. Thank you, Rosa. And we can see here all the names, and I would say the main 5 different thematic areas on which these different tools have been proposed and then also awarded. Every area is a specific domain areas, and they have specific requirements, and they are going to cover specific needs from our communities. These tools are going to be the core of our today's webinar. And if before you were competing all together, now we are working all together. So it's very important to see that the successful implementation of this initiative will be also rely highly on your collaboration between all these different tools and between the core tools project that is ECCOS. Let me now give the floor to my colleague Ricard for some additional remarks, specifically on the implementation of the new tools project. Thank you, Ricard. The floor is yours.
Thank you a lot, Maria Claudia. Now let's move to the next slide. And I want to say a few words about integration in this context. And with integration, we mean the integration of the new projects, the tools projects into the cloud platform in terms of the final output, what we are working on together. And I want to stress this just to make clear what are the expectations from the European Commission in terms of integration. On the first point, there are expectations on ECCOS, a number of expectations on ECCOS regarding integrations. Among other things, ECCOS should supervise and steer the overall development of the cloud platform, so coordinate the entire development effort. ECCOS should also provide one unified framework for the long-term access and preservation of digital data, both public and private, based on this cloud platform. ECCOS should provide basic data and metadata management layers in order for this to work. ECCOS should also provide the necessary guidelines, the necessary requirements, and the necessary frameworks for developing applications, working on and integrating into the cloud platform. And ECCOS, not the least, ECCOS should establish a long-term sustainable governance for the collaborative cloud platform, including also the legal entity. So there is a lot of responsibility for integration on ECCOS, and ECCOS will talk more about this a little bit later in this webinar. So let's move on to the next slide and say a few words at which are the expectations on the tool projects, the 10 new tool projects that we have already been mentioned. Some of them have already started. Some of them will start very soon, plus the 3 tool projects that have already started about a year ago. So all these 13 tool projects should make sure to integrate the products they develop, the digital tools they develop with the collaborative cloud platform before the end of the project. They should make sure that the developed tools are compliant with the design of the cloud platform, also with the data model of the cloud platform, and with the software development guidelines, which are will be elaborated by the ECCOS project. They should also implement the tools using the low-level APIs established by ECCOS. They should coordinate the technical work, both with other, let's say, sister cloud projects, and they should contribute to the activities and objectives of the ECCOS projects. So to summarize, these projects, you have to make sure that the functionality offered by the platform per se, by the ECCOS basic platform, is used fully, and that related functionality between tools is developed together so that we avoid overlaps and we avoid duplication. This is not always easy, not always straightforward, but we expect a serious effort to be made in this direction. Also, the tool project should design the software tools to be accessible online, ideally without requiring installation or special or particularly powerful hardware equipment, and should also ideally allow the use of these tools and avoid the loss of work in situations where the internet connection is unstable. And last but not least, all software to be developed should be open source. These are expectations from the European Commission on the tools from the developed by the tools project. So very briefly summarized, the user experience is really the key here for us for the Commission. The user should perceive one single cloud platform. This does not it does not say how it is built, technically speaking. It's about the user experience. It should not be experienced as 15 or several interconnected independent platforms, some running certain tools, some running others. No, it should be perceived as one single cloud platform. And also, what is very clear from the European Commission point of view, ECOS has been given both the responsibility and the sorry. Okay, sorry, there was an intervention unwilling here. Has been given both the responsibility and the duty to coordinate the entire initiative. So this should not be run. This initiative should not be run as 10 independent projects, but they have to coordinate between them under the leadership of the ECOS project. And the compliance with the technical standards elaborated by ECOS is not optional when you develop these software tools. It's actually a requirement. This is basic messages. So I hope this is clear for everyone and not a surprise. And with this, I thank you very much for bearing with me a few minutes and hand the floor back to Maria Claudia. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ricard. Very, very clear. Thanks a lot for this nice recap. Let me give the floor to Patricio Ortiz de la Torre, our head of sector from REA, for a quick update on the last call of the cloud. Thanks a lot, Patricio. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Maria Claudia, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to our colleagues from DG Research and Innovation for organizing this event and inviting me to participate. I would like to start by congratulating the 10 projects funded under the 2024 ECCCH call on creating these innovative tools, as the selection was highly competitive. From the 139 proposals submitted and evaluated, only 10 were funded, with a success rate of 7%. For these 10 projects, REA is organizing a specific Coordinators Day in March in Poland. Next one, please. Now, let's look to the future. I will provide brief information on the ongoing evaluation of the last stage and call of the Cultural Heritage Cloud. This is the Horizon 2025 Heritage 3, about these innovative use cases. This was published in May 2025 with a deadline of 16 September. The call has a budget of 26 million euros to fund about 8 innovation and action projects. The evaluation process is currently ongoing until 12th of December, and by the beginning of February 2026, we will inform applicants on the outcome and start preparing grants for successful proposals. We expect that all projects will be signed by mid-May 2026, starting from June until normally September 2026, all these projects. Next one. With the opportunity today to address a large specialized audience, I encourage those who are specialists or experts in the field to enroll as expert evaluators. This role will not only enable you to contribute to your unique perspective on proposals, but will also help you acquire invaluable skills that might transform you into a better proposal writer. Independent expert evaluators are fundamental to Horizon Europe, helping us collectively to advance. We are always looking for experts, particularly from underrepresented fields and countries, to evaluate proposals and for monitoring running projects' progress. Please, you can scan the QR code for more details, and we look forward for your application. Next one. I would like to finish by encouraging you to connect with REA through all our media channels to receive first-hand information about our activities, funding opportunities, and research outcomes. So this is all from my side. So many thanks again to organizers and to all you for your attention. And now I hand over to Maria Claudia for continuation of the webinar.
Thanks a lot, Patricio. Very interesting updates. Also for the audience, a very interesting call to action for being the next experts. So before giving the floor to ECOS, I just want to remind you that the webinar is recorded. So thanks a lot for also for muting yourself when you are joining the call. Javier and Dimitris, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Maria Claudia, and thanks to all. We will to speak both with Dimitris about ECOS to highlight how we are actually with the question on, in fact, integration of the project, but also what ECOS will be provide for the sister project particularly. To highlight what you said, Katia, Maria Claudia, and Ricard before, and also Patricio, of course. Next slide, please. Sorry. I want to show this map that we are building with the information coming from for ECOS, of course, but also with this 13 sister project. Actually, ECOS is working with 53 partners, cover 70 countries in Europe. But with this 13 other project, we are 187 partners involved to contribute to build this cultural heritage cloud in 30 countries around across Europe on very large Europe. So it's very important to understand that it is a unique network that is being to set up for digital heritage on this European scale. We need to build together only one cloud with more than 20 projects, as we said before. Next slide, please. With this 30 project, with all these sister project of ECOS, the other project will be presented shortly thereafter. So I will therefore just say a few words about 3 vertical applications, 3 tools that we are developing, that they are being developed by ECOS. The first one is the online conservation restoration annotator, OCRA, is a collaborative web-based tool supporting a 3D-centric documentation workflow for conservation restoration. It enables annotation of cultural heritage 3D models by linking autoptic observation, scientific analysis, and information directly onto digital surfaces. Using multi-resolution techniques and specialized visualization, users annotate detailed 3D geometries with point, lines, and areas, semantic mapping into interoperability across the cultural heritage cloud, allowing online browsing, matrix analysis, and 2D and 3D export. The second one is the virtual transcription laboratory, empower researcher to cultural heritage professional and data provider to unlock and enrich text-based cultural heritage materials. Combining automated processing with expert input, it enables flexible workflows for text recognition and semantic enrichment. From historical newspaper to ancient tablet VTL, transform cultural heritage object into structured shareable data. Integrate with the cultural heritage cloud, it ensures interoperability, access to shareable resources, and support sustainable, fair aligned data reuse across institutions. And the third one is a collection ingestion tool, helps cultural heritage institutions manage, enrich, and publish collection in a standard-based interoperable way. It enables GLAMs, universities, and smaller institutions to catalog resources, connect with European infrastructures, and promote semantic reuse. Developed by the Cultural Heritage Cloud knowledge base and Heritage Digital Twins, CIT offers intuitive tools, AI, NLP enrichment, and cross-institutional discovery. Its modular architecture ensures flexibility, scalability, and alignment with fair data principles. So this is the three first applications that we are developed inside ECCOs, but you can also after on the numbers of tools developed by all the sister project, and with all of that we are building together the Cultural Heritage Cloud ecosystem with the connection, the possibility for the stakeholder, the end user, to make their own workflow inside this ecosystem. Next slide, please. At the center of the Cultural Heritage Cloud, we have put the notion of digital commons. With this notion, we aim to highlight that all the stakeholders in cultural heritage, different cultural heritage sectors, different cultural heritage communities, will be able to share their own production of data, of information on cultural heritage assets, but also to use and reuse the information coming from other part of the large community in cultural heritage. With that, we aim to, with this digital commons, we are able, together with the whole of the community, to build new knowledge about cultural heritage assets, around cultural heritage assets. And now it's your turn, Dimitris, with the next slide, please. You're mute, Dimitris.
Thank you, Xavier. I will try to provide a few insights on how the work around the technical advancements for the ECCCH is going at the moment. And I will start by saying that we are working on two fronts at the same time, advancing the cloud backbone, which includes the basic infrastructure to support storage, processing, and all the other utilities that are linked to the cloud that we will discuss more in detail in a minute. And also we are working at the conceptual backbone to try and provide a conceptual model that we will use as an upper ontology, what we call the heritage digital twin ontology, to describe the different cultural heritage assets and build a knowledge graph that would allow us to connect and exploit together information from diverse sources. Next slide, please. In order to achieve that, we are building a rather complex architecture of which elements you can see on the slide, starting from what we call the single entry point, which would be the basic entry point for the users that will provide access to different types of catalogs, including catalogs for data, metadata, applications, and services, access to a personal user space that would allow users to collaborate on the different available data sets and produce their own knowledge at the end of the process, access to documentation on how to use the different applications and utilities, and of course, elements of security, as well as authentication and authorization and access management a little bit more in the future. Besides that, in the layers below, you can see the knowledge graph, which we see as a constituting of a federated distributed knowledge base, where using the HDTO that I mentioned earlier, we plan to have descriptions for all the available data sets that participate in the cloud, but also descriptions for workflows, for data provenance, and to the extent possible, elements of data quality that can be used by the different applications as we go on. The federated knowledge base will also connect to other European level initiatives like the data spaces. For example, the data space for cultural heritage is a prime client where we plan to provide access in a unique way for all the tools and applications that follow. On the right-hand side, you can also see the fact that we plan to provide support for monitoring and logging the activities of the different applications, so we can have a detailed way to manage the cloud and, of course, provide input for the future sustainability plan of the legal entity. We plan to couple all that with different services from data summarization to intelligent search and querying, and also global services like the assignment of unique IDs. On the right also, you can see the 3 different vertical applications that Xavier already detailed, which we plan to use as blueprints for the development of the rest of the applications and tools that would be contributed to the Cultural Heritage Cloud. Next slide, please. As you can see, there are different components that we are developing at the moment. We are developing things in parallel, and I will give you a small update later on how we are advancing and what is the plan for the next few months. Next slide, please. Just to highlight that what we are building trying to keep different elements in line. For example, we are interested, of course, in providing cloud that is accessible and interoperable, at the same time that remains scalable and efficient, but also to the extent possible, it's transparent, accountable, and fair towards the different data sets and also communities that are involved. Next slide, please. Having said that, we have a different set of services and APIs in the pipeline. Some of those, as you can see, we would like to discuss with the new projects as a potential mandatory choice, like, for example, the authentication and authorization module, which we feel should not be repeated, or the generation of unique identifiers, which again would be helpful to be something global for the future. Also, we would like to see, for example, the use of the heritage digital twin ontology as a main choice of documenting metadata related to the Cultural Heritage Cloud. Next slide, please. We are already in the process of publishing various API methods as we advance. One of the, let's say, rather advanced ones are the ones related to the knowledge base and the knowledge graph that we are going to build on top of that. Next slide, please. But there are others also related to the single entry point that have to do with how you access different resources described in the knowledge base. Next slide, please. Or how you can access different tools that are should also be described in the knowledge base. How users can set up projects or applications can set up projects or manage resources. Next slide, please. The short timeline for the near future until May 2026, that marks the second year of the ECCCCH project. At the moment, we are having in place, as I said, some basic elements for the knowledge base and the knowledge graph. We have in place the Heritage Digital Twin Ontology, at least the first version, and the authentication module. We are releasing shortly the integration strategy and the roadmap, as well as the data and metadata strategy to be followed, hopefully, or to help everyone follow the same principles. In February, there will be the release of the interoperability requirements, the generation of the unique IDs, and the first internal versions for the catalogs and the vertical applications. And we will start regular integration meetings with all the 13 sister projects, and mainly the 10 new that would have started by then. And in May, the final cloud architecture, the final version of the ontology, and the different vertical applications would be there, at least the first prototypes. Next slide. I'll pass then to Xavier to conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Dimitris. Just quickly I like to hear that, of course, the cloud infrastructure are successful only their use become versatile and transparent for the final user. It will be a community-oriented, collaboratively built and available to all application, tools, and services to create an inclusive cloud. But if this cultural heritage cloud must be built for and with the community to ensure its use, it's also necessary to ensure that users embrace it. So we need to involve all the community in the choice, the decisions that we plan, and also to develop a capacity building program for the different parts of the community to ensure the use of the different tools that we are building in each project. Next slide, please. And to conclude, this is the main element of the question of integration. There is different level and different scale of integration with of course, inside the code, the first application and the whole of the partner in ECOS, but also with all the sister project. And at the external level, we are also in touch with other European project funding for cultural heritage, digital cultural heritage in other programs and not in the ECCCH initiative. So there is this different kind of scale, but we need also to take into account the degree of integration with about the data, metadata, tools, and application. For that, we need to develop the integration requirement and to follow the integration requirement published by ECOS. The definition of the integration unit by the project will be designed in the bilateral dialogue with each project, of course. We need also to analyze the integration of needs of each integration unit, the nomination of different interlocutors by each project to be sure that we are aligned of what we are doing together. And each step need to be validated of each integration unit to build at the end with the addition of all these tools to the ECOS to build the ECOS ecosystem. We have also to deal with national and regional initiatives. The requirement published by ECOS, we aim also that they are able to join by to follow and join by the national and regional initiative. We are already in touch with some of them, and to build a federated architecture for the wall of the cloud, for the technical part, of course, for the connection between the tools, but also for the governance of the cloud, for the future and the long-term sustainability of the cloud. And as it will be highlighted at the beginning in the introduction of this webinar, we need also to align the cloud with for the to make accessible through the cloud on cultural heritage the actual other initiative dedicated to cultural heritage, and we have already an ongoing dialogue with the specific the flow and the interaction, for example, with the data space for cultural heritage, but also with the other the digital the research infrastructure, European research infrastructure for concerning by cultural heritage. And at the end, but not the least, is the European Open Science Cloud for the research part that we aims to align the cultural and to make the cultural heritage cloud, of course, compatible with the EOSC requirement. Thank you very much, and I give actually now the floor to Maria Claudia.
Thanks a lot, Xavier. Thanks a lot, Dimitris, for the updates. I think it's very important to have these regular updates time to time. Also, thanks for sharing the link of the GitHub repository, where basically everybody can really check. And we are moving, from an open science idea to something very concrete, like developing in open source. Thanks a lot for this big effort. So let's now move probably to the most interesting part of our webinar, the tool presentation. We decided to use this, let's say, a bit innovative format for the commission. We're going for pitches, and the idea is to engage together and to have less slides. So now we have the 10 projects, 6 minutes each. So please try to be very concise. And the idea is to pitch to the community why they are so innovative, and also why they are addressing specific scientific needs from the cultural heritage domain. So these are the 3 questions they are going to address. And thanks a lot, Esther, for keeping the time. Esther will be our time watcher, I would say. And let's start with the first tool. Thank you. We have Kinetica. Kinetica is from the first domain area from the call of regarding the different tools. And this one is specifically about digitalization and analysis of dynamic processes, objects and complex combined data. Thank you, Diego. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria. First of all, I would like to congratulate the team in general for the initiative of generating and developing this cloud infrastructure that for sure is welcome in cultural heritage domain, and for sure that is going to provide a lot of possibilities in this, let's say, complex topic that is the cultural heritage, as you can see with the 10 project that passed through the threshold that, as the colleague was saying, was pretty competitive. So the first idea about Kinetica, as you can see in the motto, is the advancing of digitalization tools for cultural heritage objects, incorporating mechanical parts. This is the more novel aspect. First of all, this is a project that was funded by the European Commission with a budget around 6 million. And the consortium that is going to push this idea, this innovative idea, is built based on 18 different partners, combining universities, technological centers, companies, of course, and 11 different countries. So we are talking about a complex consortium focused on this novelty topic, that is advancing the cultural heritage from the dynamic side, that is to analyze not the classical approaches based on buildings, based on archaeological settlements. In this case, our main focus will be to analyze the objects, the assets of cultural heritage from a dynamic perspective. That means from analyzing the mechanical parts of this object. So another important, let's say, highlights of this project is that we are going to apply the technology in different pilots, in particular in 5 different pilots, using this approach in different mechanical objects like bridge, like bells in cathedrals, also some mining areas where the cultural heritage were also present. And last but not least, the project is going to put the emphasis in the open calls. We are going to fund until 10 open calls. That means that we are going to increase the number of pilots, the number of tools developed under this schema that is Kinetica. So as you can see in the slide, in the center, in the main pillar, is an important concept that is sometimes not focused correctly. That is the digital twin. The digital twin is not only a 3D model of cultural heritage assets, is more than that. Is the capability to integrate dynamic data through time, and also dynamic data, and in this case related with the mechanical behavior of these complex objects in cultural heritage. So to this end, Kinetica is going to integrate the most advanced non-destructive techniques. In particular, we are talking about the advanced 3D digitalization using drones, for instance, integrating some NDT technologies as muography, also vibroacoustic text, so different techniques that allow us to analyze this cultural heritage asset, not only from external part, but also from the inner part, the behavior of these objects through time. And so together with this digital twin concept, and together with these techniques that we are going to integrate, another important aspect is the capability to analyze through time with artificial intelligence the behavior of these cultural heritage assets. To this end, we are going to provide artificial intelligence models that allow us to advance in the 3 P's in the cultural heritage domain. That is the prevention, that is the prediction, and that is the prescription. With these 3 levels, we are going to, let's say, perform like the best doctor in medicines, trying to analyze the cultural heritage assets with different capabilities, not only the prevention, but also the prediction, and last but not least, the prescription. That means that we are going to generate this type of reports. As the colleagues were highlighting, another important aspect in the project is to integrate the developments within the ECCCCH cloud. This is a priority. And last but not least, let's say the main milestone that we want to face from a technical point of view, pass through different pillars. The milestone, the first one is to advance multimodal fusion techniques using different strategies that we can put together within the cloud. And last but not least, to incorporate some simulation capabilities that for sure are really complex, like finite element modeling, structural analysis, that for sure are a key aspect in the digital twin domain, and are a key aspect for the predictive capabilities of these cultural heritage assets. So this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diego. Very interesting. I would like to proceed with the project Music Sphere.
Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yes, hi, Georgia. I was just going to explain that you're under the same topic, but please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for interrupting. I am Georgia Georgiou. I'm Archaeologist and Technical Manager of MusicSphere. In this webinar, I'm here along with my colleague Eleftherios Anastasovitis, representing the Brain Health and Virtual Reality Lab of the Information Technologies Institute, which is one of the institutes of CERT, Center for Research and Technology Hellas. CERT is the coordinator of two ECCCH projects, MusicSphere and Excalibur as well, which will be later on presented by my colleague Lefteris. So MusicSphere is a multimodal approach for digitizing, analyzing, and simulating traditional musical organs through 3D technologies, acoustic analysis, and interactive experiences. And I'm sorry? Okay. And our goal is to revive and preserve the sounds of ancient musical instruments and the sound of church organs, namely musical organs that are made by pipes, by developing tools that keep this living cultural heritage accessible and living within the ECCH ecosystem. We are a consortium consisting of 11 institutions coming from 5 different countries. And apart from CERT, members of our consortium is also the International Hellenic University, Catalink, Luthieros, the Heritage Management Organization, the University of Malaga, the Fraunhofer Institution with 2 departments, V-Labs, the EuroXR Association, and also 2 organ builders, Schumacher and the Kleis. So MusicSphere vision is to develop tools, as I said, that combine advanced technologies for analyzing, studying, and preserving musical cultural heritage. And what we will do more specifically is to create precise digital copies of musical instruments. We will try to capture their physical details and the mechanical behavior regarding musical instruments that are now lost because they're ancient relics and they are not preserved to the present. We will try to recreate these musical instruments, both with physical copies and virtual copies from the surviving fragments. We'll try to complement the missing parts, create accurate 3D models, and simulate how they sounded in the past. We will also analyze the sound characteristics of church organs and recreate their tonal qualities, capture the impact of the material's age and degradation on the sound quality. And we will study the sound in a macro context also, level by trying to understand and analyze the interaction of the sound with its surrounding architecture and the environmental conditions. What new and innovative MusicSphere will generate? We will generate a large amount of 3D models of church organs with very complex structures, and also 3D models of ancient musical instruments like hydraulis, which have lost components. We don't exactly know how was the original structure. We will produce simulation prototypes for both use cases, AI-assisted methods for analyzing and reconstructing musical performances. We will also produce VR exploration environments where users will be able to experience these musical instruments in immersive environments. In an overall, we will produce the MusicSphere framework and the MusicSphere tools for an in-depth and interdisciplinary research approach of these musical instruments. And I must add here that we will have the 14 third parties that will get funded through our Cascade funding plan for testing, validating, and integrating these MusicSphere solutions. What problems we believe that MusicSphere will solve? First of all, we will believe that MusicSphere will close many major knowledge gaps regarding the conservation,
One
the preservation.
minute, please.
restoration of musical instruments. We will make possible to understand how musical instruments performed in the past or how they should perform in the today. We will enable the analysis of the acoustic behavior of musical instruments that are not longer be played or are very fragile to handle. And we will assist conservators, architects, and researchers in evaluating how environmental conditions drive deterioration and affect an instrument's acoustics, thus strengthening their interdisciplinary and across-field collaboration. And above all, we will support ECCCH and thus support hundreds of cultural heritage professionals at local, regional, and European level in the everyday conservation, research, and documentation efforts. That's from me. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much. Next, we go to the project Infinity. Valentina Presutto, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to thank the organizer for this opportunity to present Infinity and to hear from the other sister projects. My name is Valentina Presutti. I'm a professor in computer science at the University of Bologna. I'm here to introduce this project that represents, I think, a fundamental shift in how we manage our digital heritage. At least this is the ambition in terms of the contribution that Infinity wants to give to the cloud. The project will start in January and will last 42 months. It involves 16 partners from 8 different countries. The key, let's say, gap and problem that we identified is that in the past 2 decades, the heritage sector has focused heavily on digitization, which is a good thing, meaning that we produce lots of digital objects, digital heritage. So we have created lots of digital surrogates, but often they are disconnected from their history. Infinity stands for multidimensional knowledge-based annotation. Our goal is to transform these objects into dynamic living entities within the European Collaborative Cloud for cultural heritage. And we're not just building a repository, we want to build an ecosystem within the cloud that captures the complexity of human culture. So let me start with the core innovation of Infinity, which is the move from fragmented, biased descriptions of digital objects to dynamic, ethical, and multi-contextual entities through multidimensional knowledge graphs. Current standards often force curators to simplify history. A database field might ask for a date of creation or author, assuming there is one undisputed truth. But we know that this is rarely that simple. Attribution change, dates are debated, the social meaning of an object shifts over centuries. So Infinity introduces a data model that allows for multidimensionality. And this multidimensionality wants to provide a description, an enriched description of this data of this object, not only in terms of the temporal and space dimension, but also the cultural, social, legal, and other dimensions. Another innovative aspect is to introduce a sort of plug-and-play perspective. We want to make sure that what we produce, of course, it's aligned to the cloud, but also can work with legacy systems, because collection management systems are there and we cannot ignore them, so it must be easy for them to integrate. So about the insights, scientific insights will generate. Infinity expect to advance the state-of-the-art in semantic web technologies and applied AI. We are pioneering the use of context-aware semantic enrichment by applying large language model and named entity recognition to heritage data, we anticipate generating massive interconnected graphs that reveal hidden patterns in European history. Another crucial aspect is a new scientific methodology for embedding ethics in all the methodologies for software and data development and life cycle. So we will develop computational methods to detect bias in metadata and to track data provenance rigorously. So this means that for every piece of data in the cloud, the researcher will know what is transcribed by a human or a machine, which algorithm was used, what was the confidence of a score, for example. So we want to create a chain of trust, so to provide the cloud with this chain of trust. And finally, what problem does this solve for the heritage community? I think we can contribute to solve the, let's say, visibility versus control paradox, because small and
One
medium
more minute, please.
Yes. Small and medium institutions often feel they have to choose, keep their data local and invisible, or give to a big aggregator and lose control over its context and reuse. Infinity helps solving this problem by providing the tools to enrich data locally, publish it globally in the cloud without losing this connection. And we focus also on the massive bottleneck of rights management. We allow creative industry to find, understand, and legally use heritage data for documentaries, video games, and any other business model. So we want to have a transparent marketplace. So in summary, it's not just Infinity is not just about a better knowledge basis, but it's about integrity, building a cloud where a digital object carries its full history, conflicts, context. So we move from a web of data, hopefully to a web of meaning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Valentina. Just to mention that we had moved into the next topic, which was advanced data enrichment. Now I would like to invite Mattea Durko of Echelot to take the floor.
Hi, thank you very much. It's Echolot. It's a German word originally.
Oh, excuse me.
No worries, pronunciation. Yeah, I'm Matej Durčo from the Austrian Academy of Sciences, also Daria CTO, which is one of the partners, and I'm basically standing in for Lozana Rosenova, who is the PI from TIB in Germany. So our project will also start in January. Echolot stands for European Cultural Heritage Optimized Linked Open Tools. So unsurprisingly, or answering to the call, it's about the innovative tools. And indeed, what I heard now from our colleague Valentina Pesuti, I think a lot of it, what she said, rings a bell, and kind of unsurprisingly so, as we were responding to the same call. But I see there is need for, we really should coordinate or talk to each other and see what each of us is doing and how that can be maybe somehow work together and not against each other, or avoid these overlaps. So this will be an interesting new challenge, because we didn't know what will be the other project. Anyhow, so but what we came up with, or what is our proposition is, so our project is 15 partners from 13 countries plus around 20 third-party cultural heritage institutions, which I come to later. And so yes, we were also kind of trying to address the heterogeneity and the fragmentation perceived, and the missing coherence in the landscape. So there is a lot of data, metadata available, but in various through various systems, and there is difficulty to kind of find get an overall picture, or be able to effectively search in all those. And especially also for lesser resource cultural heritage institutions, it's difficult to make their data available through the appropriate channels. And so we are offering or proposing a set of tools, a suite of tools for curation, enrichment, and harmonization of cultural heritage data and these tools will be usable in complex workflows, which are AI assisted. So there is the kind of automatic or AI aspect of it, but will be hybrid. So it's important that they need to consider the human in the loop. So it's not or not everything can be automatized. It has to be also kind of human input is crucial. And for that, there will be accordingly easy to use interfaces to interact and to do this curation, the manual input or the human input. And it also should be accompanied by, so crucial kind of aspect of this, that there will be mechanism for detailed capturing and embedding of metadata to ensure correct attribution and management of value and ownership in the generation process. So it is clear who did what and who kind of who can be in a very fine-grained manner who each information can be attributed to. One kind of central proposition of our project is that so the core, these tools will be embedded or will be interacting or integrated into a central application, which is based on the MediaWiki software. So it will be basically an extension of the MediaWiki software. And the underlying central proposition is that currently there is kind of this big disconnect of cultural heritage institution and the Europeana and kind of this research space, and at the same time, similar information or the same information is funneled into Wikidata and this kind of public, huge public reference resources, Wikipedia, Wikidata, and so on. And some kind of idea is to bring this together and make it easier for the cultural heritage institutions to actually to present and to disseminate their information about the cultural heritage objects in one go, both to Europeana, the data space for cultural heritage, and the collaborative heritage cloud, but at the same time to Wikidata, to make it more available to there where many people kind of expect it or work with. Yeah, and this is obviously will be underlying, so the kind of the underlying data model, or they will be honoring or implementing the principles of linked open data, aligned with the kind of the data model we assume will be, or we expect to be provided by the ECOs, it's the HDTO as an underlying ontology. Yeah, and this whole setup will be, we want to validate in 5 big case studies, which are already defined, and where we have 20 partner institutions who will provide their data and will work with us to kind of to validate that what we are proposing makes sense to them and is really useful for them. Yeah, and then also see how what we provide, which can be used by the culture. So on the other side, so not only kind of getting the data, making it available, but then also being used. Yeah, and I think with that, I'm finished. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Moving to the next topic, and with the project Archive, if I pronounce it correctly. Yes, the floor is to Alexander Garazzo-Gianni.
Thank you very much. Archive starts also in January, and it brings fresh perspectives to how we document and understand cultural heritage. Heritage documentation is often fragmented, time and resource intensive, and not fully capturing the richness of an object story. Archive aims to change this by introducing dynamic digital twins as living records that evolve over time. As Newfield notes, stratigraphy, conservation data, or bibliographic references appear, the digital twin grows with them. We also introduce advancements in semantic and knowledge representation. Archive will extend CDOC CRM and related ontologies to meaningfully connect heterogeneous datasets. Instead of isolated files and databases, Archive will generate coherent knowledge graphs that allow researchers to explore relationships which were not visible before. A third innovation is our AI-assisted bibliography environment, which will automatically extract references, classify them, and link them to objects, sites, time periods, and intangible elements, such as stories, traditions, or conservation histories. It handles multimodal sources ranging from text to 3D scans and audio recordings to connect them into a unified scholarly context. Moreover, Archive introduces collaborative, traceable workflows, such as version control for heritage, multi-institutions annotation, transparent provenance tracking, and real-time updates. This further enhances scientific rigor, reproducibility, and shared understanding to a sector that often relies on PDF, spreadsheets, and local drives. Now, In terms of scientific contributions, our archive will enable the discovery of previously hidden relationships. When excavation data is linked with bibliographies, conservation reports, and contextual metadata, researchers can ask questions that were not possible before. For instance, how objects relate across sites and time periods. Secondly, archive supports tracing the entire life cycle of a heritage object from discovery, excavation, classification, conservation, reinterpretation, and eventually long-time preservation. This enriches current archives with a multidimensional longitudinal view. Thirdly, we will create semantically enriched annotated bibliographies. These are not just lists of references, they are linked to a tangible and intangible heritage, to 3D models, to field observations, and to evolving interpretations. They become powerful research tools in their own right. Finally, archive will deliver interoperable multimodal datasets that future researchers can analyze with new methods, including AI, thereby opening pathways for scientific innovation and discovery. Archive is designed to solve real, everyday problems that heritage professionals face. Most institutions deal with fragmented workflows, inconsistent metadata, heavy manual processes, and limited capacity to manage multimodal or multi-script collections. For instance, intangible heritage, the stories, decisions, and interpretations that give an object its meaning often remain undocumented. Archive directly addresses these issues. Our pilots in Greece and Portugal will test archive in real field and archival settings, from archaeological excavations to complex bibliographic collections. These pilots involved multi-script materials, longer time spans, field documentation, and multimodal data, thereby reflecting actual institutional challenges. To ensure broad adoption, we will also launch a substantial FSTP program funding more than 10 projects across Europe. These smaller and medium-sized institutions will test and co-develop tools for annotated bibliography creation, fieldwork documentation, and integration with ECCCH services. Thus, archives tools will be validated by real users in real contexts, and the project will build capacity and collaboration across the heritage sector from the very beginning. Concluding, archive provides practical, scalable solutions that make heritage documentation more coherent, more connected, and more sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Next on the list is the project Statigraph. I invite Emmanuel Demetrescu to take the floor.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Thank you so much. So, good afternoon. I'm Emmanuel Demetrescu, coordinator of Stratigraph. Let me start with a problem every archaeologist knows. You spend weeks in the field documenting everything carefully, photos, measurement, notes. Then you go back on the office and the real work begins. Months organizing, digitizing, curating data before you can even publish. During that month, your memory on the context fades. Relationships between finds become less clear. Insights get lost. For companies managing hundreds of sites, this delay often means data never reaches the scientific community. What if the documentation was validated while you are still in the field? So how does Stratigraph respond with fresh approaches? At the heart is the extended matrix, a visual grammar for stratigraphy, 3D models and data provenance oriented to subjective data annotation. It describes complex 3D stratigraphic relationships as well as scientific processes using knowledge graphs, but visually, not through code. Extended matrix is SciDoc CRM compliant, mapping to international standards, but specialized for 3D representation at high granularity. Archaeologists draw their stratigraphy in 3D, and the system creates the knowledge graph automatically. Now, Extended Matrix doesn't work alone. We orchestrate an ecosystem of existing proven tools, bringing them together and adding new features. PyArchinit, a GIS-based stratigraphic system used across Italy for years. IDI field from our partner, the Deutsche Archaeological Institute, demonstrating we are compliant with different documentation traditions. Tropi for managing and semantically tagging photographic documentation. Heriverse, a metaverse for exploring heritage in VR. This was developed within the Italian collaborative cloud as a tool for the DigiLab node of Iris, built on the Atom framework. Now we are extending it with real-time collaborative annotation and knowledge graph integration. Catalog for publishing 3D documentation with persistent identifiers. All work both offline and online. You excavate in Rome with perfect connectivity or in remote mountains with no signal. Tools work everywhere. Document offline, sync automatically when online. The innovation, changing when validation happens, from month later to right now in the field. So what the new scientific contributions does this bring? First, a methodological shift. When you validate as you collect using visual knowledge graphs, that organization becomes organic. Heritage science data, archaeometry, geophysics integrates directly with excavation records in real time, not as a separate files merged later. Second, we work at stratigraphic subset granularity. While broader heritage digital twin frameworks address either level of integration, we validate the micro level, individual stratigraphic units, find context, detailed 3D documentation. This subset level complements larger frameworks. They are designed to fit together. We validate at a genuine scale, not just academic excavations, but our partners and from the project, from different academia places, but also on a very practical point of view with Italfer, managing hundreds of sites annually for railway and highway infrastructure construction. Production archaeology with strict deadlines. If tools work there, they work everywhere. Third, internal validation. We are not building for others to test after the project ends. We use them ourselves across 7 diverse contexts. Basilica Julia in Italy, in Rome, Sarmizegetus in Romania, and other sites across Europe. We use them to double check and stress test the tools, urban sites, remote locations, underwater context, Paleolithic assemblages, geophysical surveys. Every workflow
One more minute, please.
The partners who developed it. Production-ready solution, not research prototypes. So what problem we are going to solve? Archaeology enrollments are declining across European universities. Students see it as a low-tech in a high-tech world. We are repositioning archaeology as a design profession. Students orchestrate artificial intelligence, 3D tools, knowledge graphs through visual interfaces, VR for collaboration. Most archaeological work happens commercially, infrastructure, urban development. These organizations need production-ready tools. We build for them from day one. And sustainability. On data management, we see collaborative cloud as essential. We bring forth flows, visual grammar, field tools. For long-term federated infrastructure, we need a CCCH support. The transformation from months to weeks, from burden to strategic asset, from declining enrollments to high-tech profession. Archaeology becomes faster, more accurate, connected, and future-ready. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we go to the project Unish with Mr. Jari Kiort.
Hello.
Jaira Kiort, excuse me.
Yes, yes. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
So, my name is Jaira Kiort, and I'm principal researcher at the Athena Research Center. Athena is the technical coordinator of the UNIC project, and today I'm going to present you this project and how we are going to implement it. UNIQ is a 36-month project that aims to transform how cultural heritage institutions create, design, and deliver interactive experiences, which means that we are going to develop a unified platform that will enable museums, archaeological sites, cultural organizations to produce high-value digital solutions without technical barriers, ultimately reaching the visitor with personalized, high-quality experiences. Our consortium ensures that the platform and all its technologies will be technology agnostic, ease of use, and fully aligned with the European Cultural Heritage Cloud, enabling future projects to build on a robust and reusable foundations. The main goal of our project is to build a platform that is technology agnostic. We mean a black box. We are going to focus on users that doesn't have technical knowledge. They are going to just use one single entry point, which is going to be our platform, from where the end users is going to develop their experiences and produce the outcome of the end user tools that I'm going to mention right now. As you are going to see, we are going to focus on a 4E life cycle of cultural heritage, which means that we are going to provide solution for these 4 different layers. By beginning from the bottom of this graph, as you can see, we are focusing on exhibitions where the end users is going to be archaeologists, content creators, and educators, where we are going to provide tools that will help these end users to create their own digital content, and especially we are going to be interconnected with the European Cultural Heritage Cloud. In the next level, as you can see, we have the experiences, which means that we are going to provide also tools for the end users like curators, storytellers, educators, etc., that will have the ability to create their own experiences through storytelling makers, collaborative spaces, etc. All the layers that I'm going to mention right now are supported by AI tools and so on. Right after about the experience level, we have the exhibition level, which means that that layer is going to be focused for delivering the information to the end user. As an end user in this layer, we mean the visitor. The visitor could be anyone from general public, schools, experts, tourists, etc. The entire project will bring a lot of different kinds of tools, VR technologies, MR technologies, mobile applications, web-based applications, interactive boxes, etc. And of course, supported by AI agents that could help to chat and communicate and interact with the end users. At the top of this graph, as you can see, we are going to work again towards the evaluation process where we are going to bring technologies for logging and managing and collecting data regarding the visitors and provide these insights to the governance doors, which means that we are going to give information to the admin, domain experts, so as to have the ability to improve their content and maybe experiences. In a total, our work is going to have 3 different type of pilots. What I mean is different type of pilots. I mean is that we are going to focus on open-air archaeological sites, museum exhibition, and of course portable exhibition. For these 3 different types of pilots, we have already internal pilot running. We are going to have internal pilots where our partners were going to participate, and moreover we are going to have about 10 external pilots, which is going to be achieved through open calls. We are going to create calls where external end users is going to apply so as to test and evaluate our systems. To sum up, our consortium of UNIQ contains experience, know-how, knowledge to drive the proposed work plan, and it's to produce the result described. The project brings together 12 partners, research institutions, enterprises, heritage organizations, creative industries, tech companies from 7 different countries: Luxembourg, Greece, Italy, Poland, Germany, Hungary, and Spain. Generally talking, we would say that at the end of this project, we expect to have a fully automated
minute,
platform.
please.
Yes, we are expecting to have a fully automated platform where end user is going to be interconnected on that platform, produce their own experiences that automatically will reach the end applications for the visitors, and that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next on the list is Placemus XR. Eva Pietroni, thank you for taking the floor.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, thank you. I am Eva Pietroni from CNR Italy. I am the coordinator of the project Placemus XR, a digital journey across musical places in Europe and extended realities. The consortium is composed by 11 partners and 3 associated partners, museums and libraries. The project aims to provide cutting-edge open source tools integrated in the Cultural Heritage Cloud to enhance knowledge and appreciation of European musical heritage. These tools aim to create, share, reuse interactive digital contents and analyze, design and verify interactions with visitors for the benefit of the cultural heritage professionals as museum curators, researchers, creative industries, educators, students and stakeholders. Why this project? The main motivation is that in our experience we have already seen that in the wide field of digital cultural heritage, the music and sound and historical soundscapes are scarcely considered. They are confined in niche areas of research and study. Instead, music and sounds are essential expressions of the cultural identity. So we want to deal with this wide domain, considering places of music and musical roots in Europe as extended realities. Which means that we want to contextualize the musical traditions in their environment, in their cultural, historical, artistic context, in relation with societal behaviors and with physical museum objects. To do this, we will consider and digitize and tell the stories of using different resources like musical scores, instruments, repertories, considering decorative arts, the history of cities and of peoples, traditions, and also investigating the very important interconnection between the sound and the music and the space, the architectural forms. So we will consider both tangible and intangible values. We don't want to provide users with catalogs or databases, or we don't want to provide the history of music and an encyclopedia, but we want to provide lively experiences thanks to virtual reality and augmented reality tools. So the project will be implemented through some relevant case studies, considering different musical traditions, different European regions, periods and audiences. But at the same time, these tools will allow further implementation of new scenarios and itineraries by other creative industries in the future. To do this, we are going to further develop some existing tools in our laboratories with further functionalities, and especially we want to support the whole production pipeline, because musical roots include different scales of representations, different interaction modes, and storytelling. So you can see in the slide some of these tools, geovisualization platform, including not only spatial information, but also time, some semantic relations and multisensory dimension. We have some tools to create and enjoy virtual reality experiences in the web without any kind of installation or plugin. So the WebXR scene editor framework and clients the presentation layer, and the same framework adapted for experiences on the move while visiting real places. An immersive analytic web service to analyze users' interactions inside virtual reality environment. And also we have sound augmented reality platform like Agami, a story map building and visualization tool that is a user-friendly web-based software for creating narratives visualized as story maps using semantic web technologies. And also a very important virtual reality mockup tool for sound communication design in museums. And also a set of tools for accessibility, because accessibility is a very important topic in the project. So the target group we want to address our project are very wide audience, including museum professionals, cultural creative industries professional, the educational institutions, schools, conservatories of music, scientific communities and academics, of course, and also the tourists and the general public and policymakers and financial actors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eva. We move to the project Excalibur with Eleftherios Anastassovitsis. The floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. I am Eleftherios Anastassovitsis. I'm a postdoc researcher at the Center for Research and Technology, Hellas. In our research group, the Brain Health and Virtual Reality group, we are coordinating this project, the Excalibur project, but also the Music Search project earlier presented by my colleague, Georgia Georgiou. So we are happy to be involved in the ECCCH ecosystem through these two projects. Excalibur project proposes a holistic framework that offers innovative tools and methods for enhanced study, improved conservation and restoration works, and knowledge of cultural heritage objects based on their digital twins. The Excalibur project applies a multi-layered approach that focuses on 4 specific levels of cultural heritage objects and will contribute in providing innovative solutions for enhanced study, improved conversation, and restoration works and knowledge based on their digital twins. So on the first level, we focus on burial sites, excavations, and their surroundings. On the second level, we focus on tomb structures and burial decoration. On the third level, we focus on artifacts, burial findings, and traditions and ceremonies. And as a final level, fourth level, we focus on human and burial remains. Through the centralized, interoperable and human-based platform of Excalibur project, toolkits of usable, open source and cost-affordable solutions will be available for the whole spectrum of cultural heritage. The DNA of Excalibur consists of the real user needs as archaeologists, bioanthropologists, museologists, conservators, historians, researchers, and scholars co-define the requirements and their needs, co-design the toolkits, test, evaluate, and validate the tools through 4 representative use cases. Our use cases, the first use case is the tombs of the King's Complex, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Paphos, Cyprus. Our second use case is the tomb of the Egyptian in Sardinia, Italy. Our third use case is the State Museum of Egyptian Art in Munich, Germany. And our fourth use case is the bioarchaeological collection from the Democritus University of Thracian, Komotini, Greece. In addition, a multidisciplinary group of experts and scientists from European research, academia, and creative entrepreneurship join their forces, sharing their knowledge, designing and developing through cutting-edge technologies. And we will deliver breathtaking, but at the same time, usable, cost-affordable, and sustainable solutions for enhanced study, improved conservation, and restoration works, and knowledge of cultural heritage. So our consortium is composed by the computational imaging group from CWI from the Netherlands, the Institute for Digital Cultural Heritage Studies from Ludwig Maximilians University in Munich, Germany, the Democritus University of Thracia through the Laboratory of Physical Anthropology. We also have the visual and data intensive computing team from the Center for Advanced Studies, Research and Development in Sardinia from Italy. We've got the Department of Resilient Society, the Cultural Heritage Group from the Ratoseni Center of Excellence from Cyprus. We've got the Digital Manufacturing and Materials Characterization Laboratory from the International Hellenic University. We've got Catalink and Okis Limited from Cyprus and Bulgaria. And also we've got the Heritage Management Organization, the ICOMOS Cyprus, the Ministerio de la Cultura with the department from Sardinia, the State Museum of Egyptian Art, and also as an associated project, X4D. Yeah, thanks. Regarding the Apistion and the progress beyond state of the art, Excalibur project provides enhanced interdisciplinary study for holistic knowledge through archaeanthropology. Also provides innovative toolkits in the study, conservation and restoration of cultural heritage empowered by artificial intelligence. Contributes in advanced study, conservation and restoration through complex representation. So Excalibur will build on previous expertise and will lead to a revolutionary and more accessible way of reusing obsolete data sets with meaningful and combined representations in the era of virtual worlds and metaverse. And our last ambition is to provide interoperable digital twins and XR for effective study, conservation, and restoration of cultural heritage. So Excalibur will develop enhanced digital twins based on burial cultural heritage objects that will include additional modalities and level of representation such computed tomography scans, CT scans, and this will provide additional tools for holistic and enhanced study, conservation, and restoration. So we've got also a set of 12 toolkits that will be applied in this.
Please end the presentation. Thank you.
Yes, these 4 use cases. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the last of the 10 projects is Colors. I invite Daniele Ferdani to join.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you very well. Thank you.
So my name is Daniele Ferdani, senior researcher at the Institute of Heritage Science of the National Research Council of Italy. And I'm very happy to introduce you to Color project. Colors is built on the work done in a previous project called Perceive, which explored a new way to use AI and virtual reality to visualize color changes in artworks. But while Perceive was more focused on research and exploring new ideas, tools, and prototypes, Colors is about putting those tools and prototypes into practice. We are adapting them for real-life use in museums, labs, and restoration studio. So how is Colors bringing something new? So first, Colors is especially focused on polychrome heritage, things like painted sculpture, frescoes, textiles, and historical films, which are some of the hardest to preserve due to their surface and material. Second, instead of using tools separately, Colors create shared cloud environments where experts like restorers, scientists, and curators can work together, whether they are in the same room or in different countries. Using digital twins or digital replicas, they will be able to run simulation, make plans, and exchange ideas in real times in this environment. And third, we add a predictive layer to restoration. Often conservation work is risky. Changes can be undone. So Colors provide tools to simulate what will happen before anyone touches the artifact. Experts can see how color will look after restoration and even how they might continue to fade or change if no action is taken. So this will help them to make better decisions and reduce the risks. We are also thinking about the general public, of course. Colors uses digital storytelling and extended reality to help people understand what has been restored and why. And this makes the restoration process more transparent and easier to be appreciated. About the scientific contribution, we are creating new method for visualizing and simulating restoration of colors using AI, imaging, and semantic technologies. This will support restoration work, of course, and help researchers study material and degradation more deeply. We are also working on interoperability, making sure our tool can connect and exchange data with European Collaborative Cloud. This means defining common standards, interfaces, protocols that allow different systems to work together. And all our tool will be tested in real-life context through internal pilots run by partners and external pilots open to new institutions through open call. This way we ensure the tools are practical and ready for a broader use. About the problem we want to solve in Colors, well, mainly fragmentation, risk, and public detachment. Restoration often happens in silos, in closed environment, while little collaboration across field. So Colors support shared platform that brings together different types of experts. And restoration more can be risky, especially when dealing with fragile colors. And Colors gives professional predictive tool to reduce uncertainty and avoid mistakes. And finally, the public often feels excluded from the restoration process, and Color want to help create a bridge with engaging digital experiences, making heritage more accessible and transparent to the audience. At the heart of the project, we have four main goals, or what we call functional scenarios. The first one is collaborative decision-making, helping experts to plan restoration together using digital tools. The second one is simulation and prediction, seeing how an artifact might look after restoration or how it might degrade over time. The third one is advanced digital tool to capture and document color in a more precise and flexible way. And finally, public engagement, bring your restoration story to life, thanks through immersive media. So the Colors follow a 7-phase methodology, starting with stakeholder engagement, and ending with real-world adoption. So it covers everything from tool development, cloud integration, validation, and sustainability. And of course, all of this is fully aligned with the goal of the ECCCH and ECOS ecosystem. So to sum up, the goal, of course, is not just building technology, but creating a new digital ecosystem for color restoration in cultural heritage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all the nice presentations. I give the floor back to Maria Claudia.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you for this amazing presentation. And I would say a huge thank, even more because you were really, following our guiding question, also to stay in time. So I think it's amazing because we touch many different topics and domain area, from knowledge graph to digital twin, but also focus more on technical aspect. That, of course, these are just very high-level pitches, but then you will be the one developing a lot of scientific research and contribution in this field. Now we see a clear link between all these tools. There are, I would say, similarities, and there are also strong connection between the capabilities that the cloud will be offering, and at the same time, core components that you are going to develop. So I would say now let's focus, let's keep our attention high. We are going now to have the second round. It's about really try to fill the gap between your tool and the cloud. You see in the slide the two questions that we ask the projects to address. And please don't forget to vote your questions in Slido, but also to ask questions to the specific project. In this case, just use the prefix, the name of the project, and then your question. All right, so let's start with the second round. And thanks again. We go again using the same order. Thank you very much. And let's start with Kinetica.
Okay, thank you. Hello again. Next slide, please. Okay, so as you were seeing at the presentation of the pitch, our main, let's say, challenges for the cloud, for the ECOS cloud and the technological challenges are focused in these three main points, three main bullets. First of all, for the digital twins, we believe that it's crucial to advance the issues related with the storage and normalization. We have to face a lot of multimodal data. That means that we need to deal with heterogeneous formats, heterogeneous data in the way of 3D scans, muography information, information coming from the IoT sensors, the simulation for the structural analysis and the behavior of the mechanical parts and so on. So the first, let's say, way to leverage the ECOS cloud will be to advance in this normalization and data fusion. And another issue very important is the things related with the computational complexity related with the FEM simulations. So all the things related with the digital twin capabilities for analyzing the different behaviors of mechanical parts using FEM analysis is an interesting challenge for improve the capabilities of the ECOS cloud, and for sure the possibility to integrate artificial intelligence, data coming from muography, reconstruction, and last but not least, real-time IoT data processing. It is also important to analyze and to have into account the digital twin as a service. That means to offer through ECOS Cloud the digital twin models and functions through a cloud market. So different cultural heritage professionals can have the possibility to see different tools developed under this digital twin umbrella, and the possibility to offer services related with these problems. And last but not least, the technical challenge, as I was saying, to integrate different modalities of data, that for sure is really complex sometimes, to ensure real-time synchronization, that this is a critical aspect for digital twin, and to manage large-scale computing capabilities, that for sure this is something that we face in the past a lot of difficulties in other cloud infrastructures when we try to deploy our system. So this is another important technical challenge to take into account. And this is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move to the project Music Sphere.
Hello again. So, Music Sphere will, as we probably all do, will develop new toolkits and extensions for digitization, simulation, monitoring that will be fully integrated within the ECCCH ecosystem, accompanied by shared documentation and guidelines for adopting and further developing these Music Sphere modules as our first call in relationship with the ECCCH infrastructure. And of course, the most important is that we will be, our focus will be to be integrated seamlessly into this ECCH system, and to ensure that all the functionalities of the original framework remain intact and fully operational within this environment. So we will transfer all relevant data, 3D models, the digital twins, the ontologies, the interconnections to the platform, while we try to maintain that the data integrity and the consistency, and establish a data migration strategy that will ensure that the ECCH platform can be actively handled and utilize all these migrated data. This is quite a challenge. This is the most important one, that Music Sphere will produce a large amount of heterogeneous data, so seamless integration in alignment with the ECCH requirements is quite challenging. Music Sphere also develop highly advanced technological tools, so we must ensure that these tools are robust, scalable, and aligned with the practical needs of the cultural heritage stakeholders. And regarding the core of the thematic core of Music Sphere, is that we will run simulations to understand and revive the sound of lost organs, so achieving the highest possible degree of the historical and acoustic authenticity.
One more minute, please.
Yes, of course, thank you. Is a key technical challenge that we must address within the development of our project. We foresee and have already begun to establish collaboration with a large amount of cultural heritage institutions and organ builders, workshops, CCIs, research institutions, tech companies, and of course, ECCH and sister project stakeholders. Our focus will be on the people who will be trained on our solutions, and we anticipate that we have a large amount of the people that will cultural heritage stakeholders that will be trained in our solutions in order to validate it. Of course, our focus will be all the 14 cultural institutions that will be founded by our Cascade founding plan in order to test and validate our solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move to Infinity.
Okay. Hi again. Well, Infinity leverages the cloud in several strategic ways. First, it will be our operating system. So the Infinity, the project is cloud native from day one. We'll build our tool as a microservices using containerization, meaning that they can be lifted and shifted directly onto the infrastructure provided by ECOS. We follow a strict rule book to ensure every component is plug and play ready. So we will have, of course, to liaise with the ECOS and create... Sorry? Okay. Happening. Okay. So now
you're now unmuted.
Please continue. Someone is
Okay.
unmuted, but I'll check.
So yeah, so the rule book I was mentioning that of course will be developed in collaboration with ECOS, and the cloud will be our library as we act as a sort of semantic bridge. We connect local connection management systems to the cloud without replacing them. Instead, we published enriched multidimensional knowledge graphs that map local data to European standards, ensuring that it is retrievable and linked across the continent. It will be also our storefront, so the marketplace for our results. Our AI library and rights clear data will be available through the cloud service catalog, allowing creative industry to access high quality heritage data for commercial reuse. But to achieve this, of course, we must overcome technical challenges, the complexity of modeling multidimensionality. So the risk is that creating graphs, to create graphs that are too heavy to query or for real-time operations, we will work on advancing semantic web standards like RDF star to try and optimize efficiency without losing complexity. AI ethics, so we use AI to detect bias, but AI can itself hallucinate. So in this case, we have human in the loop to mitigate this risk. The legacy integration, connecting modern cloud tools to all the database can create frictions.
One more minute, please.
Yes, so we solve this by developing standardized connectors and APIs that act as translators between legacy system and the new cloud. And of course, the synchronization with ECOS, because we are building tools for a cloud that the ECOS project is still building. So the risk is misalignment, but we mitigate this by dedicating a technical board that includes ECOS representative, but also we have some partner in common. So finally, of course, the collaborations are important. The first critical one is with ECOS, with the data space through our partner Europeana, but also with creative industries to make sure that our APIs are actually usable for commercial apps, and with citizen scientists for designing interfaces simple enough for the public, but robust to generate scientific data. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you very much. And we move on to the project ECCCH.
Hello, Matej here again. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so what are the kind of what we want to achieve with the what would be how we want to leverage the cloud, or the kind of how that ECCCCH should work with the cloud? The different aspects that we try to work out is that we assume to or aim to allow to expose cultural heritage data by the cultural heritage institution in accordance with the heritage digital twin ontology. Via triple stores that, as far as we understand, could become part of the federated knowledge base. So this distributed knowledge base that Dimitri showed, that may some of the kind of our instances, our applications would have their triple store that would basically become part of this federation. We want to offer our ECCCCH application or application suite as a software as a service, so that basically it can be deployable on demand within the cloud, so that people can, within the cloud platform, that people can kind of click on it and have it running. Ideally, that's the vision. And then provide this. We will have this suite of metadata curation enrichment services, and these could be used. They will be not only integrated within our application suite, but should be also usable by other third-party applications or components or applications in the bigger cloud platform. And so what are our main dimensions of collaboration? So with that kind of the primary axis is, or vector is towards ECOS, where we expect to work with the ECOS integration task force, where we already had contact. And then on the other side, we have our main customers are the cultural heritage institutions, where we already have a sizable set of sample of 20 such institutions to work with. And the third dimension that we have, as I mentioned earlier, so we want to kind of connect with the media wiki universe, which is huge. There are thousands of instances of wiki data or wiki media wiki software systems. Please. Yeah, and kind of hundreds of thousands of people using this software suite or this universe, and so trying to bridge these worlds, I think that will be a major challenge, but also opportunity. And speaking of challenges, so admittedly it was not an easy task to formulate the proposal against a cloud which itself was still very cloudy and in development. But I mean, this is nothing new. But we consider this as a major risk or challenge to how we will be able to implement against a still moving target. But we are optimistic. We know the people there, and they are good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next comes the project Archive.
Yes, thank you very much. Archive is cloud native, designed from its inception to work seamlessly within the ECCCH ecosystem. The cloud will give us scalable storage for 3D models, excavation data sets, high-resolution imagery, metadata, and multilingual bibliographic collections. It allows us to handle the size and complexity of multimodal heritage data in a way that local systems simply cannot. We will rely on interoperable RDF triple stores and graph databases, which make it possible to explore rich semantic relationships across all these assets. Moreover, the cloud enables real-time collaboration and full version control. Multiple institutions can annotate, update, and link assets simultaneously while maintaining clear provenance and integrity. And the cloud ensures long-term preservation, aligning Archive with European standards for accessibility, sustainability, and fair principles. Of course, this journey is ambitious, and we expect several challenges. One is integrating highly heterogeneous data sets, different formats, scripts, time periods, and documentation traditions. Another is achieving deep semantic interoperability so that AI tools can generate meaningful insights rather than superficial patterns. We also need to scale cloud infrastructure to manage dynamic digital twins and large multimodal collections. And throughout all of this, we must ensure robust security, access control, and compliance with FAIR and ECCCH standards. To meet these challenges, Archive will collaborate closely with ECCCH infrastructure projects, with the COES, and with national regional heritage institutions and international networks. Our pilot nodes and FSTP projects will provide continuous real-world validation, ensuring that our solutions remain practical, aligned, and interoperable. We believe the future of cultural heritage is collaborative. As we begin this journey in January, we look forward to working closely with the ECCCH and the COES community, building this ecosystem. Thank you very much. Building this ecosystem together and sharing our progress as it unfolds. We are ready to collaborate, experiment, and innovate. This is the moment to rethink heritage, and we are ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have the project Stratigraph.
Much. So let me explain how Stratigraph leverages the European collaborative cloud and what we need from ECOES to make this sustainable. So bear in mind that the knowledge graph, to be very useful, needs to collect the context, not just the numbers, and to describe things, but to put things together. So it's very important to collect the context when the data is born on the field. So our approach is offline first and cloud enabled. Archaeology happens where Earth moves, from small academic trenches to massive infrastructure projects. Public and private actors across Europe manages thousands of sites annually for infrastructure construction. That's an enormous amount of precious archaeological data generated every year. So our tools work at 4 levels. The field level, the extended matrix, PyArchinit, ID field, trophy, that all full functionality offline. You can excavate in remote mountains or underwater with zero connectivity. artificial intelligence validation, 3D documentation, and knowledge graph, everything works locally. Synchronization, semantic synchronization to ECCCH, not just file uploads. Knowledge graphs sync with full provenance tracking. Collaboration, Heriverse enables real-time VR collaboration. Multiple teams annotating the same 3D site simultaneously, remote expert consultation, immediate cross-site comparisons. And the publication, catalog publishes with persistent identifiers through ECCCH as single entry point. The innovation, cloud capabilities come to the excavation site, not forcing data through cloud bottlenecks. This matters because archaeology is comparative. You need to compare your single stratigraphic unit, your single artifacts across hundreds of sites. That granularity, individual unit, individual find level, doesn't exist in current infrastructure
One
at
more
scale.
minute, please.
Yeah, now the technical challenges and what we need from ECCCH. First, semantic interoperability. We work at stratigraphic subset granularity, while Heritage Digital Twin operates broader. We need ECCCH to provide flexible ontology extension, extended matrix inside of CRM compliant, but specialized for 3D stratigraphy. We need freedom to extend without breaking interoperability. Second, hybrid authentication. Tools work offline, but when syncing, authentication must be seamless. We can force archaeologists to re-authenticate every time connectivity fluctuates. Third, and this is crucial for sustainability, professional adoption. Most archaeological work happens commercially, infrastructure companies, urban development, and so on and so forth. So what we bring, validated workflows, proven tools across 7 contexts, real user communities from academic to enterprise. What we need from ECCCH, federated infrastructures, stable APIs, authentication frameworks, and governance that enables both research and commercial adoption. We are building a living ecosystem on ECCCH foundations, one that's still innovating in 2035, hopefully, because it creates genuine value where archaeology actually happens, where Earth moves and data is born. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move to Unique.
Yes. Hello again. So as you can see, my presentation starts with a question that I believe that somehow answered today in the beginning of this webinar, but we hope that in future meetings with ECCCH and the other sister projects, we have much more clear view on what and how we are going to exploit from the cultural heritage clouds. And as you saw in our previous presentation, Unique is going to provide several different types of solutions. And this means that we are going to have multimodal data that have to be somehow handled. How we could leverage the cloud is simply, as most of the projects mentioned until now, we would definitely need access to cultural heritage assets. And of course, something very important and that should be clarified is that if we are going to have access in infrastructure, this is very important for a Unique platform because we are going to provide several end user solutions that have to be stable and running always. Another very important thing that we should exploit the cloud is that we need semantic interoperability with ECCCH. Hosting our application, it would be ideal because in most cases when where all the projects host their own systems, it's quite difficult when someone fails, some infrastructure fails, some project may work, some application may fall down. And of course, we are going to need definitely the network of the European Cultural Heritage for communication and dissemination purposes so as to reach as many as possible end users and to know for our works. Regarding the challenges, most of the challenges are come from technical perspective, which means that we need somehow to find a common way to merge our solutions, to have metadata harmonization. And of course, when we talk about multiple applications that Unique is going to provide, we need heavy streaming approaches that can cover all these things together.
1 minute, please.
Yes. Moreover, we are going to need work together towards security and right management issues. And something last but not least, it is how we are going to support all these tools after the end of the projects. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Placimus XR.
Hello again. So regarding Placimus XR, in the first case, and for the first question, how we want to use the cloud, we want to create, share, use interactive scenarios related to place and object of music, integrated with metadata, and following the heritage digital twin ontology. And this will challenge because we will deal with a wide range of objects, different types of objects. And we have two work packages dedicated to this task. The first one is about analysis and the second one is about integration. The second kind of use is to improve interaction with places and objects of music and with users, offering tools able to support the whole scenario production pipeline. The tools are designed for both digital and phygital experiences, and they can be accessed both online and offline. Of course, they have to be usable, accessible without complex installation or without requiring powerful devices. Regarding the second question, the challenges and collaboration, the challenge is to provide tools to create open applications and not closed one, allowing stakeholder and creative industries to create new scenarios, new contents enriched by metadata. And we want also to build not databases or catalogs, but engaging experiences. And about collaboration, we have some partners in the consortium involved also in the ECOS project. So
one more minute, please.
Yes, and finally, we have also colleagues and participants working the DigiLab IT framework that is part of the IRIS infrastructure. And so I think that this will help us to enter in a synergy with the Cloud for Cultural Heritage issues. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Eva. We have the project Excalibur next.
Thank you. This is Eleftherios Anastasovitis again. Regarding the Excalibur, we have dedicated work package for collaboration, close collaboration with the ECCCH ecosystem, but we also have a dedicated work package for the integration of the whole process of our project. So we've got 12 toolkits that needs to be integrated in the cloud. Let's focus on the ECCCH collaboration. We have split this in two tasks. One task focuses on technical collaboration for alignment with the ECCCH infrastructure. And the second one is about clustering and common activities with the ECCCH ecosystem. Regarding the technical collaboration, all technical partners of the consortium will interact with the ECCCH ecosystem and mainly with the ECOS project to ensure that the proposed and developed solutions will be compatible with the ECCCH infrastructure, also avoid overlaps and duplications. Moreover, any potential expansion of the libraries and the procedures of the ECCCH will be discussed further to ensure that all the suggested toolkits and methods that aims to bring innovation and lead beyond the state of the art for study, conservation and restoration of barrier cultural heritage objects such as city scans will be taken into account. regarding the common activities from the communication perspective, Excalibur project will take the advantage of this collaboration for maximizing the awareness of the project during the open call, the test pilots, as well as for the training task of the innovative toolkits and methods. The main challenge is technical challenges. Yes. Is the open source policy that we have to apply in all toolkits, also to provide usable toolkits and interactions through this interaction with the ECCCH. And for sure, we extend our collaboration through the open call, where we will provide support, financial support to 8 projects, up to 50,000 euros per project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we go to the last project, which is Colors.
Thank you. So about leveraging the clouds, we have 3 dedicated work packages coordinated by Forth that will take care about the integration of our infrastructure in ECOS. We are building what we call a vertical application, so a dedicated cloud native environment that will host our tool and services for color restoration. And these include AI-powered tools for analyzing, simulating, and reconstructing colors in artworks, as well as a digital platform for visualizing and annotating digital twins or digital replica. So the cloud will be essential for making this tool accessible and reusable. And by integrating with the ECCCH infrastructure, we aim to move from isolated digital project to a shared ecosystem where experts from different domains can collaborate in real time, even from remote location. To do this, we are aligning our work with the ECCCH governance and technical standards, thanks to these 3 work packages. And for example, we are using semantic data models, open APIs, and triple store database that support reasoning and knowledge sharing. In terms of challenges, one of the biggest is, of course, interoperability. Our tools need to exchange data smoothly across different systems, 3D model, imaging data, and annotation layer. We also have to migrate existing content from hybrid system into the ECCCH cloud, ensuring that nothing is lost and that the user experience remain smooth. So, and another challenge is enabling real-time collaboration on large and complex data while keeping performance and security at high level. So for this reason, we are all working closely with our technical partners, Forth, Fraunhofer, and TNU, to ensure that a solid architecture supports scalability, data integrity, and long-term sustainability, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. With that, I give back the floor to Maria Claudia for the Q&A session.
Thanks a lot, Esther, and thanks a lot for the projects. I think a lot of food for thought we have, and also a lot of inputs to build on. Again, this was the initial step to start sharing all this information with the communities, and then all the kickoff projects and all the meetings will be developed in the next month. So I would say to move to the Slido, and then we can start answering all the questions you have posted in the Slido, and also try to give the floor to the ECOS colleagues and also to the projects that have been involved. So let's start from the first one. It's a very, very good question. Where can we find more official information about these tools and how far they are advancing? So from a Commission side, I would say we have our entry point in the European Commission website, but the ECOS website is going to be the entry point to collect all the information and also all the tools website. But I give the floor to ECO's colleague, I don't know, Xavier or Dimitros.
Yes, thank you, Maria Claudia. Yeah, indeed, there is the ECO's website. On the ECO's website, we have one page dedicated for each sister project, and we are redirecting by the website of each sister project. We have also the GitHub repository and one account on Zenodo for the public deliverables that we put in Zenodo when they are published. At this stage, the single entry point is not already open for the cloud itself, but in the next month or years, it will be operational, and we make a lot of publicity of that, of course.
Thanks a lot, Xavier. And yes, exactly. The GitHub repository, I think, is under construction, so keep an open eye on that. Then let's go to the second one. We are preparing a proposal for Horizon Heritage Call number 5, Creative Alliances, fostering global partnership in cultural policies and CCI innovation. One of the PP will be mapping the sound archives of Europe. How can we join ECOS? So I will ask my colleague Ricard to address this question. Thank you.
Thank you for this question, and I'm happy to learn that you're working already on a proposal on this topic, which is still draft, still not finally adopted. So if provided that it pulls ahead, which we hope, we think it's a very good ambition to integrate as far as this is possible with the cloud platform. And I think the question here is how to contact ECOS in order to perhaps design the proposal in the best way to do this. And for this purpose, you have the contacts to ECOS and also to the sister projects in the frame of this webinar. The websites are also available, and I believe there are functional email addresses that can be used. And if there's something that we can share here, we can also put it in the chat. Xavier or Dimitris, if you would like to add something to this. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the next one. I think it's for ECOS, mainly for them. When will other institutions will be able to access the backbone and also understand the specification of the tools, given that there are already open calls that ask others to participate. So I think one important information here is the tools and the different grants, cascading grants they may offer would be publicly available in the different websites from the tools, but also from ECOS. But please, Xavier or Dimitris, feel free to jump in. Specifically more about the timeline, about HNC, the backbone. Thank you.
Yes, of course. First of all, about the cascading runs, the first result for the result for the first call will be published during this month in December, and the second call is still open to January from the ECOS side. We need also to remind that each project has their own timeline. So there's one of the challenge to align all the timeline of the project. Maybe Dimitris, you can precise for the backbone.
Well, some of the information was already in the slides that I presented. We have though to make, I think, a distinction between what would be available for the projects that participate in the ECCCH family, which would be an earlier access than the public access to the different parts of the cloud that we are building. I think that there would be parts of the specifications, at least as far as the cloud part is concerned, published gradually. We will publish some during the next 6 months, as I already mentioned. As Xavier said, we have to see with the projects that are now starting how we coordinate the timeline of the development of the tools.
Thank you, Dimitris. Then we have a question from Rafael. It's about GitHub. Basically, he's asking how we are going to track the technical work in ECOS, consider that there are many, many repositories that are empty or near empty. Thank you. Maybe you can also try to answer the second one. It's about low. What do we mean with low-level APIs? These are two technical questions.
Okay. Maybe I can start. So that is true. This is the public repository for ECOS, where we plan to publish as we advance the parts of the system, the components, and the corresponding API methods that would be available for public use. As I said, we are going to offer to the sister projects and cascading grant projects some earlier access. There we will update as we go on. So to track down the development of the technical work, and this includes also the heritage digital twin ontology, and I mean the conceptual part, we are going to gradually update. So we need to track the GitHub repositories, but also for significant points, we will make announcements publicly on the website and other media outlets.
Thank you, Dimitris.
Sorry, and for the low-level API, with that we mean APIs, so programming methods that are touching the lower levels of the cloud, for example, things like how to store data, files, or in whatever other formats we have.
Yes, so basically, if I understood correctly, it's about covering the basic building blocks of the infrastructure, no?
Exactly, yes.
So that's why it will be useful to have a list of what is under this and not. What do you mean by digital twins in the context of heritage cloud? I would say, again, this is a very, I would say, common keyword that we keep repeating all the time. Probably, I think it's very important to have a more technical definition. Also, in the different presentation, we saw kind of, augmented digital twin, developed digital twins. So I would ask maybe again, ECOS colleagues or maybe some people from the projects to define digital twins with their own words. Thank you.
If I can start, I think that we need at least 1 week of conference with the whole of the cultural heritage community to discuss about what is digital twins and what we can define digital twins for heritage cloud and heritage sector. But for sure, the digital twins it's used by for different with different understanding. On our side, we define precisely around the question of the from the notion of digital twin ontology to be sure that aligned and define precisely what we have in mind behind this notion. It's very different at the initial definition of digital twins in the industry sector for because this notion comes from there. But we need to be careful that each of the specificity of cultural heritage assets will be taken into account in digital twins. For our purpose, it will be a digital object that we can use to work on the digital assets, cultural heritage assets, the physical cultural heritage assets. But we need to have a long definition to explain that. And I'm sure that the next meeting with all the sister projects, it will be useful to have these topics to exchange and to precise what each mean of each of the project mean of this with this notion.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm wondering if someone from the different tools wants to jump in.
This is Diego from Kinetica.
Please.
Basically, I will say that digital twin is like an avatar, where we have on one hand the skeleton, the muscles, and on the other hand we have the cognitive capabilities for taking decisions and perform actions. So in this way, we need to digitalize all these capabilities, static and dynamic, under the umbrella of digital twin, and this is the milestone. Okay, this can be applied to different contexts, buildings for sure, archaeological settlements, but whatever asset, even a process, an object, whatever thing can be subject of this digital twin approach.
Thanks a lot. Yes, I think it's very important also, to kind of underline a common understanding of the concept, because in the past it was very highly used, like now AI, as a kind of hype, and the keywords that was recurrently present in all the tenders, all the proposals. So I think one of the main goals is also to define and to have a common view on the definition from the technical side. At which level of detail and implementation. So let's go to the next one. I'm a person with a basic knowledge of IT and communication system, and what is problematic is how all these projects related to backbone of the cloud. They all seem to be separate projects, so each project have their own tools. Good question, I would say. I mean, today was the first time we tried to trigger the discussion about these tools, but also this big picture that we were mentioning at the beginning. And I think here it's very important what we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. There is a strong need of coordination between the backbone, ECOS, and all these tools. First, to coordinate, to synchronize, but also to avoid reinventing the same functionalities. That's a strong point that we keep insisting on from the European Commission. So to give back I would say, consistent understanding of the cloud is something that the tools and the project will be working on all the time. Also, to make this understandable for a common audience, it's a very good challenge, but also very important, for the communities that are not so technical. I don't know if maybe Xavier or someone else from the tools wants to integrate. Feel free to jump in. And in the meantime, I just want to say that this is the first meeting we had. And in the next month, there are many different opportunities to meet together and to also share information. Please, Ebe.
Yeah, thank you very much, Maria Claudia. And you're right. In the next month, we make more close and precise connection between all the tools built by the different projects. Indeed, the big picture at the beginning of this webinar show that we are building a large ecosystem with many tools and different things. This can give an idea of a kind of constellation with many things and maybe some redundancy between different tools. But what is important is that to be sure that we are trying to give through the single entry point for the cloud the possibility to each stakeholders to use and to build the workflow according to their own needs, to build the way and to provide maybe different tools to do some similarity with some similarity, but to be sure that each stakeholder can work with their main subject and the most writing tools according to the needs.
Yes, thanks a lot. Let's move to the last two questions. By the way, it was amazing how we kept the time. We are just 10 minutes late, 15, let's say. So the other question from Andrea is what is and will be the role of NRN in the cloud implementation, physical infrastructure repository? What is and what will be the level of integration of frameworks or as a SIDOC, CRM, and other in modeling data, metadata management tools? So this is again, it's a very technical question. I would give the floor to maybe Dimitris or Xavier.
Okay, thank you. So for the first question, there are some NRNs that participate directly or as affiliated entities in ECCOS. But in general, we foresee a role because they are providers of physical infrastructure. So it's something that we will need as we elaborate more, for example, the role of national nodes in the ECCCH ecosystem. For the second part of the question, of course, what we are building is based on industry standards like SIDOC CRM. So our Heritage Digital Twin ontology will be compatible and will allow interoperation with other SIDOC CRM-based ontologies and metadata schemas. So in principle, we are trying to build something that will follow the paths already set and will facilitate integration of diverse resources to the cloud.
Thank you, Dimitris. Thank you very much. We have the last question. It's now the first one in the list, and is what about data set storage? Do we need to use our servers federated with ECCOS, or will ECCOS provide specific server where the sister project will migrate the final data set enriched by metadata? It's again, I would say, a very important and a very foundation aspect is addressing this question. And again, this is for ECCOS. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Maria Claudia, and thank you for this question. It's very important indeed. And first of all, we are building a distributed architecture in each dimension for the cloud. Of course, for the question of storage, for the technical part, but also for the governance of the cloud and the connection with the existing and future project. So we are not building something like a physical infrastructure, but a distributed infrastructure. Or indeed, each project, it's better if each project can provide their own data set storage, because the idea is not to centralize all the things in the same place, but to build something rarely distributed. But probably, Dimitris, you can precise something about that.
Well, I think you made the main point, Xavier. So for ECCOS, the idea is to provide the way to federate resources that are coming from diverse partners, including the sister projects. Because first of all, we would not like to have one single point of storage of everything. But also we would like to have something that can survive after the end of the project in the legal entity. And the goal is to allow the addition of new partners, new data sets, new applications as the cultural heritage cloud evolves. And for that, we think that a federated approach has a lot of advantages to offer. Nevertheless, if there is a need to store something centrally, or if one of the sister projects has specific needs, we are here to discuss this and elaborate more on what is needed. And ECCOS will make every effort possible to provide the necessary elements for the sister projects to work and again to be available even after the end of the project's lifetime.
Thanks a lot, Dimitris. Thanks a lot, colleagues. I think now we are finally at the end of this webinar. And before giving the floor to Esther, I personally want to really thanks a lot my team. First of all, you're amazing. We did a great job in such a short time. So thanks a lot, Esther. Thanks a lot, Rosa, Ricard, and Martina. But then also thanks to all the participants and to the projects. We were very demanding, asking you to be short and concise, and you made it. So big thanks and kudos to all of you. Now let's give the floor for the final remarks to Esther. And we are going to close very soon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Maria Claudia. I add your comments for the team, and especially you also. Great teamwork, so excellent. To all the participants, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will share the recording of this session with you as well as the presentation. And if you look in the chat, you can find the link to the cloud webpage and the cloud community link where you can still register should you not be a member already. With this, I wish you a very pleasant evening, and I hope to see you again at our next event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Thank
evening.
you.
Thanks to also the ECCOS colleagues
Thank
for
you.
your support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.